Let's get started. Trump found guilty on all 34 counts in historic New York criminal trial. Let's take a look,
249
baby.
years of American presidents, and never has anything like this happened before. Historic, unprecedented felony conviction of Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States. It happened a little after 5 p.m. Eastern time. The jury read its verdict.
I'm so goddamn lived up today, dude. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. It's hard not to be lived up in a moment like this where like the criminal justice system just works. You know what I mean? It feels like it's that you know, older athlete that you love, I guess, or that you once loved, who is no longer performing in the way that he does, but then he goes on a 20-point tear or something, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, that's the glory days. Like, he's back. That's how I feel right now about the American criminal justice system. Like, it sucks. It's awful. It's white supremacist. It works to do so much bad, but then sometimes it gets it right. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a D-Rose 50-point game. You're like, it's never going to happen again, but I'm glad that it happened one time. And it made me feel like it's the motherfucking glory days. Now, obviously, for the American criminal justice system, that analogy doesn't work that well because I don't think it has ever been good. But, you know, it's the theory of how this prospect was supposed to be good. Theoretical democracy, like the theoretical D-Rose. The bar is in hell, but we reached it yesterday. Yeah, I'm glad we cleared the bar. Let's take a look. Let's enjoy it.
Generating headlines instantly like these behind me all around the country and the world. And while the verdict means that Trump will run for president this time as a convicted felon, that does not mean he will serve prison time. That's worth noting right up front. Many observers, in fact, call that unlikely. The former president was found guilty of all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, all tied to a hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels in the run-up to the 2016 election.
The jury needed less than 2 days to make its unanimous decision. Trump planned.
I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I can't believe it. 34, that's crazy. 34, that's crazy. Like, I thought they would surely find him guilty of some stuff, but 34 across the board, like everything. They hit him. They did the full clearance aisle. That's crazy. Clean sweep. It's rigged, man. Shit is rigged. It's rigged. Nobody likes me in New York. It's rigged, folks.
Plans to appeal, and he remained defiant outside the courtroom where he was greeted by supporters and protesters. The guilty verdict is another first for the former president, who is also the first president to be impeached twice.
Bro's throwing up the fist like he's a political criminal, too. It's so funny. It's like, yeah, dude, it's Nelson Mandela. You watched him get arrested, okay? I forgot to run the 3-minute hamburger. I'm running it now, by the way. Sorry, sucks to suck. Okay, let's continue. You should have subscribed
This morning,
already.
we'll have complete coverage of the verdict and what it could mean in November. Let's begin now with Robert Costa, who's been following the case from the very start. Bob, good morning.
Good morning. This verdict just the beginning of a new uncertain chapter of this campaign, fueled by former President Trump's grievance. And the sentencing will now come at a crucial moment. In July, just days before Republicans select him as their nominee.
Donald Trump left court Thursday a convicted felon and vowed to fight.
I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution.
He's a very innocent man. What is this? Here's the Mandela tweet. Bro, how? Why are these people not embarrassed? Why are these people posting this shit? It got 10K likes, man. What is happening, bro? What the absolute is happening? Yo, Twitter sucks, dude. Oh my Lord, how much you might think like, oh yeah, we saw the bottom. Okay? We saw the bottom. We saw the worst of the worst. It can't get any worse. It's like, nope, just kidding. How is this any different than Facebook at this point? How the heck every time you're not live or doing an event or not covering the news or traveling, the craziest news happens? Yeah. I mean, he is the white man's Mandela, if we're being real. Putting together the best Trump conviction tweets. Yeah, we're going to look at all of that. We're going to do Hogwatch. We're going to do it all. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And oh, by the way, the Republicans are insane. Like, they are so unimaginably racist. They're so out of pocket. Like, they're going absolute nutty mode with it. People are saying some of the worst things I've ever seen. Like, on the one hand, yeah, it's really fun to see like all the Debras and the Barbaras crying and shit because Donald Trump is going to jail, is what they think, even though he's not. But like, oh, woo, what a treat. What a treat. What a treat. What a treat. Thank you. Thank you to the criminal justice system for giving us this beautiful thing. Thank you, Alvin Bragg Jr. Thank you, Judge Merchant, or whatever the name is. Okay. Thank you to all the goats. Thank you to Jeff Tiedrick. Thank you to the Democratic Party. Dark Brandon strikes again. Gonna be real honest with you, Alvin Bragg Jr. You did that shit, AJ. Thank God I saved you from the zombie apocalypse. Thank you, David Pecker. Okay. I mean, thank you to New York, the Boston of America. Thank you to New York City. Thank you to the jurors. Thank you to everybody. Okay. Bro yapping like he did it. I'm just saying, like, it's great. It's a joyous occasion. Thank you, Stormy Daniels, for having sex with Donald Trump, which is kind of gross. But hey, you know, get your money, queen. Get your money up, not your funny up, Stormy. Thank you to a friend of the show, Michael Cohen. Mea culpa, obviously. All right, let's keep going.
12 Manhattan jurors decided the former president's fate, deliberating for more than 11 hours over 2 days, reaching a verdict late yesterday and finding Trump guilty on all 34 counts. Inside the tense courtroom, Trump looked straight ahead as the verdict was read, a blank expression, then stared at each.
Dude, let's run that back. That one is not the best one. The one with his mouth open, is that real? Or is that fake?
Straight ahead as the verdict was read, a blank expression, then stared at each juror as they confirmed the verdict one by one.
This was a disgrace.
Trump was convicted of falsifying business records related to a $130,000 payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels in the lead-up to the 2016 election to keep her quiet about an alleged sexual encounter. Earlier Thursday, the jury reheard crucial testimony from former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen. The defense called him the greatest liar of all time. Cohen weighed in late Thursday.
It's accountability. It's exactly what America needs right now.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who brought the historic case, also spoke last night, saying Trump had been treated like any other defendant.
Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor, and that's exactly what we did here. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
Trump's lawyer Todd Blanche said the trial was flawed from the start.
Because of
So good. It's so goddamn good. Woo! This is my mea culpa. Michael Cohen does nothing in his podcast that deserves this kind of an intro, okay? This is my mea culpa. Ooh! Like, there is nothing that happens on this podcast that deserves this hard of an intro, okay? Is it an original song just for the pod as well? Yes, bro, yes. This is his unironic intro banger, okay? This is my mea culpa. Might be worse than Northwest as Simba. Okay, chill. Nothing, you're wrong. He gives us nothing but the truth. Yeah. Does he play the whole thing before the episode? I don't know, but like, this is lib porn saying guilty after every charge. Yeah, dude, this is like, liberals are nutting everywhere, okay? And to be honest with you, they deserve it. It is a worthy nut for them. Good luck to all the liberal. Check in on your family. Check in on your MSNBC, CNN watching parents, okay? They probably had the craziest sex last night. You might have a brother or a sister coming out in 9 months, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Your boomer ass parents nutted, okay? They nutted like they never have before. I know it's hard. It's hard to think about, but you know who else was hard? Your dad. Your New York Times op-ed reading dad. That's who was hard last night, okay? Wrong, my parents are old. You think that's stopping them in this joyous moment? In this joyous occasion? You're about to have, you're about to have the next baby boom created by the boomers with just a shit ton of children named Alvin, children named Bragg, okay? You don't understand. This is like Albanians naming their children, there's like Albanians naming their children Tony Blair or Bill Clinton.
Everything around the lead up to this trial, it made it very difficult for the jury to evaluate the evidence kind of independent of what they knew coming in.
Trump faces up to 4 years in prison, but could be given probation with no jail time. Judge Juan Merchan announced he will sentence Trump on July 11th, 4 days before the Republican National Convention. Less than an hour after the verdict, Trump's campaign was fundraising off it, claiming he is a political prisoner, after he said he'd
That boy got $36 million, I think, or 39. I can't remember the exact number, but they got $30+ million that they raised in one day, which, you know, not enough.
out toward Election Day.
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
Joining Bob on set is Caroline Polisi, a criminal defense attorney and a lecturer in law at Columbia Law School. Good morning to both of you. Caroline, I want to start with you. The real verdict, Donald Trump says, will be on November 5th. If he becomes president again, I think some voters on both sides will ask, well, is he going to be in jail while being president? Is jail time on the table here?
It is on the table. I would say highly unlikely to
Let's
that.
go. Shh, don't say that. Shh, shh, don't say that. Don't say that. Think about it. Think about it. Think about how sick that would be. I'm just saying. Think about it.
That question, 34 felony counts, each one of which does carry with it the possibility of up to 4 years in prison.
Doesn't the judge get to decide, or am I dumb? Yes, this is entirely up to the judge now. The thing is, however, there's very little likelihood. There's very little likelihood because, like, once again, the type of offense, and also him being a first-time offender, like, and also him being the president previously, and most likely the president again, like, because there's a logistical complication that many people are not even considering, or maybe some people are considering, which is that a president, if you jail them, they have lifetime Secret Service. So, like, what? Is he going to have lifetime Secret Service in jail with them? You know what I mean? These are, like, genuine questions. These are truly unprecedented moments. It's not like he's a... The thing is, he didn't, like, I guess, do extrajudicial murders that are outside of the scope of the presidential powers. You know what I mean? Because he did do extrajudicial murders. That's what presidents do, especially post-Obama. But, like, he didn't do it in a non-presidential way. Like, it's not like he went up to a random person and just, like, domed them. In a situation like that, I feel like it would be different. But this is not. This is a first-time felony offense for you know, I guess betraying the voters' trust, or like lying to voters, hiding hush money payments, mismanagement of campaign funds, or directing Michael Cohen to mismanage campaign funds, and keeping a secret from the broader electorate. Ironic enough, because, like, clearly they wouldn't have given a shit if they knew, and many people now know, and they don't give a shit, obviously. So
no mandatory minimum, meaning there no jail time, could also be a sentence. I don't see personally.
Hard line, to be honest. Real verdict, November 5th. Fire. You wish you had his presence, his aura, Lazan. Bro, you ain't even wrong. I do. He has phenomenal stage presence, bro. He does. It's true. This is a third world banana republic with a Gucci belt on, law at rule of law. First of all, I love when Republican dumbasses say stuff like that. I'm sure you're joking when you say that, but, like, no, it is actually good to criminally prosecute former presidents. Like, we should get more of that. We should do it across the board. Also, the irony here is that, you know, everyone's doing the banana republic shit, but, like, there is nothing more European than investigating and maybe even subsequently arresting former leaders, okay? This is like, Europeans are probably watching right now going, first time? Really? Is this a first for you guys? That's cool. Like, that is, you can't even be a president or a leader of a nation state in Europe unless you're caught doing, like, insane corruption charges, or sometimes even, like, you know, 17-year-old prostitutes and stuff, which is insane to say. That's an insane word that came out of my mouth, an insane sequence of words. But that's, like, literally Berlusconi doing bunga parties and saying, like, well, she's 17, but, like, she was hot, though. Like, that's his defense. That type of... Yeah, in France, like, with the former French president, Nicolas Sarkozy. So my point is, it's like it's very European. We are definitely hitting like extreme levels of Europeanism, I guess. Like I feel like there we got to a level of European that was previously, I thought, unachievable in the United States of America. We're Europe maxing in the worst ways possible, so hard that we're gonna start like, you know, shitting on the Romani people, even though there aren't that many of them here in America. Like most people's racism is directed towards like black people in general here, but like we're becoming more like Europe, that we're just gonna start on travelers, you know.
Him being sentenced to prison time, the judge could impose a variety of different things. Home probation, for example. He could serve it in Mar-a-Lago with an ankle bracelet. He could serve it non-concurrently, meaning he could go on weekends, for example, to some sort of custodial sentence. I personally think there will be heavy fines and some sort of heavy probation associated with this sentence.
And he can be president while on probation.
Absolutely. There's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits it.
Bob, what are your sources telling you about how the former president, who did not react in court, is reacting behind the scenes?
There's a lot of uncertainty among former President Trump's inner circle because they believe your point that he's unlikely to maybe face jail time. At the same time, they were inside that courtroom. They saw Judge Juan Merchan lash out at one of the defense witnesses. Bob Costello cleared the courtroom. Tensions are high between the judge and the Trump legal team, so nothing's being ruled out by the Trump side. And that could really make Trump pay a huge political cost this summer. The Republican National Convention, where he's trying to get a jolt to get into the fall campaign. Will he show up for that first debate? How will this affect his running mate? So many questions, so many variables for the presumptive Republican nominee.
Caroline, from a legal perspective, are there grounds for appeal here, and what's likely to be the outcome?
There absolutely are grounds for an appeal here, both on the legal side as well as how the trial played out. We talked a lot about the way this statute is, structured, that while the jury was required to be unanimous with respect to all elements of the offense, there was that underlying object crime of the New York State conspiracy to violate election laws, right? The $130,000 payment. And the unlawful means that was accomplished. The jury didn't have to be unanimous on that decision. Some constitutional scholars say that there are due process issues with that in terms of a defendant being put on notice with what exactly he or she is being charged with. That could take years. I always refer to the Harvey Weinstein verdict, which was in this state as well, 4 years from conviction to being overturned. It's a long road. The wheels of justice move slowly, but we'll get started pretty quickly.
Any chance of the delegates that the RNC may revolt and hold their votes? LOL! Are you crazy? No. No. One of the most prescient sentiments ever expressed by Donald Trump was when he said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and these motherfuckers still vote for him. Okay? That is real, bro. That is one of the realest things he's ever said. Because they would. They'd vote harder. They'd be like, bro, what kind of baby did he shoot? I bet that was a libtard baby. I'd shoot a baby too. I'd shoot my own baby for Donald Trump. Are you kidding me?
If you don't watch Fox News, here are 5.
It's so good. It's so good. God damn it, dude. Thank you to everyone that participated in this process to give us this beautiful moment, dude. Republicans are just losing their minds over just like literally baby shit. Now, this is one of those like unifying moments where like we're all a little liberal today. You know what I mean? I think this separates the boys from the men, okay? Like, I shit on the Democratic Party a lot. I'm going to shit on the Democratic Party in a little bit. You know I'm going to do that because we're going to talk about Israel, and the Democrats are in charge, and they suck. Having said that, however, absolutely nothing gives me more pleasure than watching hogs melt the down, okay? I mean, it's great. It gives me so much goddamn joy, okay? It's one of the very unique moments where I'm just like, oh, so good. Please give me more of this. Give me more, please. I love it. I love that shit, son. Oh, it's so awesome. Especially because, like, these guys, right, the Republicans, they get everything they want, even when they're not in charge. They get things that they don't want. that are still in the direction of things that they might want. You know what I mean? Like all the anti-trans bills and stuff. It's like Republicans weren't even asking for it and they still got it. You know what I mean? While the Democrats are in charge, mind you. So it's like, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal to watch them it's phenomenal to watch them mauled because they're such petulant little children that get everything they want. It's like the rich kid on the block, the spoiled little fat kid who just like is always getting everything he wants, but then like sometimes he's not used to being told no, so he just like loses his. It's great. It's fun to see.
With that, the Trump team has come out saying they're moving forward.
Beyond this moment, how does this set the stage for those next 3 cases, Georgia, Florida, and in the nation's capital?
Yeah, well, this one is different. It's unique because it is a state case. It is the only case that if he does become president again, he cannot pardon himself for. So that is a unique twist here. Many people are saying this is likely the only case that is going to come to an end, which already has before the election. So I think it doesn't bode well.
You know, Bob, political conventions in recent decades have been kind of boring, perfunctory affairs, lots of ceremony, balloons, big speeches. But now we've got Donald Trump being sentenced just days before the Republican convention. What's going to happen in July?
Usually when there's a scandal, it causes a reckoning to happen inside the party. Think about Watergate in the 1970s with Richard Nixon. Republicans got uneasy about President Nixon's conduct. What did you see this time around? I stood in that park for 6-7 weeks for CBS. We saw red tie Republican after red tie Republican come there and show their solidarity with Trump, including the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. And we're seeing Republicans across the board saying they're sticking with the nominee, even though he's a convicted felon. That tells you Trump has a grip on power, and that's going to affect the entire campaign. Look for the Biden campaign still to bring up Trump's conduct, maybe not to get into the specifics of this case, but to raise issues about January 6th, American democracy, and Trump's conduct, and say, do you really want this person in power in the White House?
Bob Costa, Caroline Polisi, always great to have you both. Thank you very much.
Todd, thank you for being here. Why do you think the jury found Donald Trump guilty on all counts?
I mean, well, I don't know.
As my lawyer, dog, I'm going to jail. That's my lawyer, dog. I don't know. Strong start, Todd. Strong start, Todd.
The jury.
Let's run it
Todd,
back.
Todd,
Let's
thank
run
you
it
for
back.
being here. Why do you think the jury found Donald Trump guilty on all counts?
I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I think
Is it, Todd? Is that a good question, Todd? Todd, you fucking suck, dog. 34? Bro, you had a perfect defeat. That's crazy, man. You had a perfect defeat. He's out here doing impossible things. 0 for 34, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. I want to do more the basketball analogies. You know what I mean? It's just like, you got swept, son. You got swept. What happened?
Understanding why a jury reaches a verdict is something that every single trial lawyer in the country would love to be able to answer honestly. Look, a lot goes into a jury verdict that doesn't even include what happened at the trial. You know, the decisions that are made before the trial, the decisions that the court makes and that the parties decide about what witnesses to call, what evidence to put in. You know, so I think that at the end of the day, it remains true that if the word of Michael Cohen was not accepted at all, then you could not have convicted.
Bro, that's so stupid. Like, you have to do that, right? And I get it. For Donald Trump, he's not the best client because he's incredibly incompetent in doing crimes because he's kind of failed upwards always, right? So he is, in many respects, one of the worst clients to try to get off because, like, he's constantly going around pulling at Israel and being like, I did that. I love doing that. I'm going to do more of that. You know, you. Also, the judge is anti-Semitic. Okay? If this is the Israel analogy, you know, he's just doing that all the time. He's like, no, I did that and I love doing it. Suck my dick. So it's hard. It's hard to defend Donald Trump. Having said that, okay, this is like the guy that's testifying already served a sentence for the crimes that he was directed to do by the guy who's being prosecuted in this situation. So your client, like, you can't just be like, how are you going to trust this guy? I mean, he's a liar. He's a perjurer. He lies all the time. Excuse me. It's like, yeah, bro, that's what happens when you're doing criminal conspiracy. Okay. And I made an analogy earlier before, like last week, where it's like, if you have a mob boss sitting at a trial and you have a hitman that is already serving a prison sentence, you can't just turn around and be like, Your Honor, how can you trust this guy? He kills people. It's like, yeah, for him, for your client. He's killing people for you, for your mans, of course. Wow, how can this guy be considered credible? I mean, he's killed people. Oh, man. That's the whole point, dude. That's why your client is currently being prosecuted. Like, what are we talking about?
President Trump and the jury convicted. So at the end of the day, they looked past what we thought were.
Chapo take, yeah, dude. I have this take for a couple months now. Suck my Chapo tank. I didn't watch the latest episode yet.
Were fatal flaws in Mr. Cohen's story and his past, and they reached a guilty verdict.
Right, but it wasn't just the word of Michael Cohen. I mean, there was other evidence in this case, the documents. They wanted to rehear David Pecker's testimony. I mean, they took all of that into consideration.
Sure. No, look, of course the jury will take everything into consideration. That they were very serious. Look, this jury showed up on time every day. They were very focused on the evidence and on the...
I understand being cynical about Trump actually going to prison, but didn't Cohen go to prison for literally the same shit? What legal reasoning would the judge have for not giving Trump prison time? Because it's Trump. He's a former president. All of the things that I just described to you are the reasons why it would be so fucking nutty. It would be insane. It would be awesome, but that would be crazy for him to actually get a...
And on the testimony that came in, and there was a lot, but look, at the end of the day, it was still a case, in our view, as we've been saying.
Yeah, also Cohen was brought up on more serious federal charges as opposed to Trump being brought up on the lowest class felony, class E for state felonies. Yeah. And even, you said it 24 hours before Chapo, and yours was funnier. Normally, I don't support you in chatter squabbles, but you did good. Thank you, Motorface, for defending me against my friends at Chapo Trap House, who are very funny, who I listen to all the time as well. Probably worse would be he lose the election and they make him do some form of house arrest. My coworker, who's such a smarmy fucking lib, is extra unbearable today, but today I can't, but I also can't blame him. Yes. This is their moment, dude. Come on. Libs have a moment today. Libs have a moment. They are right. I am wrong. Okay. I've downplayed it because I didn't think that 34 out of 34 W's was going to be posterized. Okay. And also, the Republicans are so mad. It makes me so happy. It gives me so much joy to see conservatives crying, being like, our democracy gone. Where is the law and order? This is a banana republic. Like, it's just dope, dude. I don't know. Clearly, this shit is political, though. They can't attack Trump on policy because they kept all of his horrific policies, but he's powerful because people hate people like him, hateful people like him, and non-hateful people don't like the Dems. But nearly every president has done fucking crimes and bribes. Yeah, okay. Sure. Fair. I hope they try to fucking arrest Brandon. That'd be sick. This was my favorite tweet out of all the hogs. War. Bro, you are going to war with your hairline. What do you mean war? It's crazy, man. Apologize to Alvin Bragg. Yeah, I saw this tweet and I agree with it unconditionally. Alvin Bragg apology form. Reason for behavior. Check. The media convinced his case was weak. I don't watch actual trials. I don't know legal ball like that. Mercury was in Gatorade. I was jealous of Alvin. I miss Robert Mueller. I will hereby respect Alvin Bragg, and I will not talk down on the future first ballot Hall of Famer. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game. To be fair, I don't have to make this apology because I have been an Alvin Bragg defender. Okay. I don't necessarily, because like I was a defender of Alvin Bragg. I just didn't, I just thought that this is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, which it kind of is. But like ultimately it's fun for the time being because it makes conservatives very mad. Everything that you guys have said, like everything that one chatter said personally about like, oh, all presidents are criminals. This is political. Yeah, so what, dude? It's great. Who cares? Is Jeff Tiedrich okay? Did he nut to death? Yes. He was warned. Real Donald Trump, we're coming. Watch out. Bionicle Army took his ass out, dude. He was first. He was the shit. Then Jack Smith seemed promising, and I kind of forgot about Alvin, but he was working. Yeah. He was cooking some shit up, dude. He was cooking some shit up on the sidelines. Again, white supremacy in display, okay? The black man is working hard, and everybody sees a white dude, and they're like, ooh, that's my guy. That's our real savior. Turns out, it's the black man all along, okay? It's white supremacy. It's the implicit, it's the biases that we have in our hearts that we don't even recognize. That's what caused everybody to undermine him. Okay. Oh, your case is weak. Turns out it's not so weak, is it?